I can't wait to get into these highlights. This man scored a touchdown too. Oh. We'll get into it with all SEC linebacker from the University of Alabama, a projected, I'm going to say surefire, a lock to go in the first round. Welcome to the show, Jihaad Campbell. How are you?
How you doing? I'm pretty good. Thank you for
Those
having me.
highlights are pretty great, huh?
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
You have the phrase or it says rare breed on your social media. I loved that. You even have a clothing line. Congratulations, Mr. Entrepreneur, dedicated to rare breed. Why is rare breed the perfect way to describe you?
I mean, just rare breed, raw and relentless energy. I give raw and relentless energy, every time I step on the field, off the field, whether it's making, connections with people out in the real world. And I mean, I think I have great positive energy, toward myself. So.
Okay, I love that. This word, I do this a lot. I get to talk and interview and meet you guys as you take this journey. The word versatility is used so much, and it's so important. But it's almost used to the point, Jihaad, that people make it sound like it's easy. He's versatile. It is so hard to be good at more than one thing. You were one of 3 FBS players last year to record at least 115 tackles and 5 sacks. What is the biggest challenge on the journey to becoming versatile at your level?
Yeah. So, I mean, when you really think of it, I was playing the edge rusher and the top of my high school time. And, let alone I really played offense before defense. So, all those skill sets and all those attributes and, just ability helped along the way of the journey of being a defensive player. And I mean, it's not easy, being able to cover receivers on the goal line, in a 3-by-1 set, and then, coming back and playing on the run or, coming on a line of scrimmage and, just being able to, be the fourth player on the play. So it's a lot of different things that go into it, a lot of different, film watching that go into it, and I'm all for the challenge. So, I mean, that's why I feel like I'm the best versatile, defensive player in the draft.
Yeah, you being a wide receiver in high school is a little crazy, I think. I think it's a little crazy to think about. I think it's amazing. And then you get to Bama, and I'm just so curious, what did Nick Saban do specifically for your versatility?
Yeah, I mean, so, just coming to college, right? I mean, I didn't really know what a Will or Mike position was. I knew what a Sam and Jack position was. So, he was like, we want you to come here and be a Will linebacker. I'm like, okay, I'm just agreeing, I'm like, okay, I appreciate it, thank you. And he was like, you know what that is? I was like, nah. He was like, that's, middle linebacker. So, just having that thought process and understanding, I'm like, I bet. So, I'm gonna have to just accept this challenge and, come in and stay down until I come up and, always be a hard worker and, always have a will to learn, have a will to win. And I think, he put me in a great position, from my freshman year to my sophomore year of showing my butt out and, having me really, go out the hard way and really understand plays and defensive schemes and, just how to diagnose offense and have offensive recognition. I think that was the biggest thing for sure.
Was everyone else recruiting you as an edge?
You talking about out of high school, right?
High school, yeah.
Some places was, some places wasn't. It all depended on, the scheme and stuff like that. So
yeah, I just think it's cool that he's like, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna present you with this new language, this new whole vibe, and you accepted that challenge. I think that says a lot about not only your talent but your hard work. I think that's really important. Did you ever think of transferring? How often did you think of transferring after Saban left?
So I didn't think of transferring. I mean, just based on the whole reason why I came to the program. Yeah, I came for, Coach Saban, but I also came, to the Brotherhood, the B-South 5 program, understanding, habits, discipline, commitment, dedication, effort, pride, toughness, all of those traits, followed up with the program and, my mindset. So, it was definitely great for me to stay, and actually hold everybody accountable along with everybody else holding each other accountable. And I think, that's the whole Bama standard. You feel what I'm saying? And that's why I stayed. So
I admire that. And I really wanted to ask you that because I was reading that, as you saw in the break, I'm not so much of a college ball girly, but I know that you played in the bowl game this year, and that's unique. And I think that's really admirable. And you're speaking to really just the commitment that you have.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I think is great.
I mean, I mean, a guy like me, like, I didn't really have no issue playing in it. You feel what I'm saying? Because I wanted to play with my guys again, and it was
Yeah.
another opportunity for all of us to showcase our talents again. So,
Man, I'd like to be your teammate in the NFL if I was somebody
you
watching
might
this.
as well. I can
I'm-
see you as like a safety.
oh yeah, no,
Safety.
I thought you were
Yeah,
gonna say I'd
yeah.
be like elite off the ball linebacker. No, like no, you don't
Oh,
think?
my fault. Okay, yeah,
Little,
come on.
little
Right next to
hybrid,
you.
little Frankie Louvu next to you. I don't know. I've heard you
Definitely.
called like you can do it all. Mr. Can do it all, right? At the combine, you said it yourself, and we know where
Yeah.
your skills lie as a linebacker. How much would you like to explore pass rushing more in the NFL?
I mean, how much ever, a coach will allow me to, or organization will allow me to. I feel like my traits and my ability to just be an overall football player is at the top. And I think, I definitely have a lot of other things that I, can improve on my game. And, that's what I'm all here for. So,
Yeah, I think the hybrid linebacker at the elite level hard to do. Like we're talking about, like that's taking over the sport. Micah
definitely,
Van
for sure.
Ginkel,
Definitely.
overshown fellow draft prospect. So that would be
Yeah.
exciting to see. Is there anything like sacking a quarterback? Is there anything that compares to that?
Man, that's a great feeling, knowing that you just beat the offensive tackle or guard or running back or whoever on a matchup. And you get to that quarterback, it's like your eyes open up, like you on like a roller coaster. So it's definitely fun for sure.
Gosh, I'm so
Yeah, it's
jealous. I'll
exciting.
never know what that's like.
Yeah.
Like that must
I
be
get the
so
I get
freaking
the I
fun.
get the I get the bang in my head though sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Is
yeah.
it more? The only thing I could think that could compare to it in like any given game is scoring a touchdown, which you
I
did,
did,
which
I
is
did
so insane.
that.
And I want to
Yeah.
talk about it. How many who gets to score touchdowns at
Man,
linebacker? Nobody.
but you see who caused that though. I gotta shout my dog Braswell out, man.
Let's
You
see.
feel what
Tell
I'm saying?
me.
Because without him, nothing was possible right there. So if you,
Um,
yeah, is he
you're a
gonna play
great
back or not?
teammate for shouting him out. You have the instincts to track this thing down. You win the
Yeah,
race to the end zone. I just feel like we
definitely.
need to get you on offense too.
Maybe so. I did play a little bit of receiver and running back, so don't put me in no quarterback though. But receiver and running back, we good. We good.
There are endless. We're obviously in the break. We're playing a game of like, can I name all the Bama players I can think of that are in the NFL? Of those playing right now, or those who were ever in the NFL, who do you go to for advice the most? Is it Chris?
Chris, Will, Henry, all those guys are great. I just, and this is a special thing about Bama too, because we just had an 8-day spring game, which was
Hmm.
actually a practice. But we had a great former player there, which was C.J. Mosley, former Jets linebacker, and I
Hmm.
had a great time, just conversating with him. Also seeing, Mr. Kroom himself, back in the day guy, just talking about the B-Side Five, how the program was led, way back then, and, all the funny and experience and stories. It's just so great, just to link up with, all those alumni guys and, these guys that's playing today. So
I'm sure you heard from all of them after your combine performance. I think what makes it extra special and says a lot about you, and NFL fans and GMs should all know this, is like you weren't 100%. You
yeah,
have a torn labrum. You had surgery after the combine. Let's start with how you're feeling. How are you feeling now?
I'm good. We're Gucci.
Okay. You're Gucci. Okay. I love hearing
Yeah,
that.
we're
That's a
good.
good headline. I'm Gucci.
We're good.
How in the world were you able to run a 4.5 40 and a broad jump almost 11 feet with a torn labrum? Like how?
You gotta ask God that question. I trusted in Him that day, which is every day. I made sure I prayed, before
Mhm.
I went out there, and performed to showcase my talent. So, I give all things to God.
You're very passionate about your faith. You're outspoken about it. What from your faith has molded you into the player you are right now?
Yeah, just, understanding that there's a higher power than me, right? And without God, nothing is possible for any of us, And, I truly appreciate that each and every day that I wake up, that, I walk out of this door safe and I come back home safe. And, get to talk to, my loved ones and, always spread positivity and always, just pour great energy into others. So,
I love that. Which meeting that you had of your top 30 visits? What's one, not the one you like the best, but which one sort of stuck out to you as unique?
yeah.
Cardinals, Seahawks,
Yeah. I mean, I think, just going through this process, like everybody's cool. Everybody's great. That it's a big industry, full of connections, full of resources. And, I'm just really appreciative, to be a part of this journey right now. So,
Great non-answer. I
yeah.
see you. I like that. How would you feel about chasing down Kyler Murray at practice every day?
Oh yeah, that would be fun. That would definitely be fun. I mean, I feel like I can do it. So it'll definitely be, it'll definitely be a huge task though. We gotta give credit to that dude. He quick, fast, he really explosive. But I'm coming for him for sure.
I'm coming for him for sure. That's all I wanted to hear. You're going to be on site. You're going to Green Bay. I love that. I'm so happy you accepted the invitations. You'll be there with, Milroe, with Tyler Booker. I get to talk to both of them next week. What should I ask them?
Ooh, what should you ask them? Like, you thinking like funny questions or like what? Like,
Just give something that I'm not going to be able to find on the internet.
Ask them the craziest or funniest like Nick Saban story. I want to hear it.
Their funniest what?
The funniest Nick Saban story.
Oh, okay. What's your funniest Nick Saban story?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Gotcha.
I think that's off the record. Though. I think we can.
You can't. You're not going to. I'll ask them, and then I'll say you don't want to answer it.
Yeah. Maybe for me it was a little different. I was on the defensive side, so it's a whole bunch of different stories right there. Defensive meetings and stuff like that. But I would say, I really appreciate Saban. Just being that specific and type of coach that he was, and always holding a certain standard, to everybody. It was like a sergeant base, like military.
He's so busy.
Yeah.
Do you hear from him?
Nah, not really.
I wonder if you'll hear from him with where you go. I wonder if you'll hear from him after the draft. Would you expect that or
definitely.
no?
Yeah.
Oh, you will?
Yeah. I think I'll definitely be in contact with him for sure.
Yeah, even if it's just you saying thank you, or like you just kind of, telling him what's up. I love that. I don't know if you saw this because I know you're so busy. By the way, your phone was just ringing. Who was calling you? Not being Snoopy.
I don't know.
Not being nosy.
Nah, I
Agent,
don't know.
team.
Nah.
Mike McDonald. Who's calling you?
No.
I wanted there's a huge story about a bunch of people going to space. I don't want to talk about that, but I do want to know which 5 celebrities
going into space.
Give me 5 celebrities you'd go to space with for like 11 minutes.
I would love to go to space for 11 minutes. 5 celebrities. Well, we got to go with some funny people. So I say like Kai Cenat.
Okay, that's a lot of energy.
Kevin Hart.
Okay, it's a lot of energy.
I mean, sure, it's 11 minutes. We got to enjoy it while we can.
No, I love it. That would be amazing.
Who else? Hey, we got to bring The Rock too. Big boy, The Rock. We got to. That's 3, right?
That's 3.
We're gonna bring you too. I like your energy. You got some.
Me? I'm going? Yeah. I'm there. I'm there.
And then last but not least, I don't know.
Kai, me, The Rock.
I'm gonna bring my dog.
The Rock's gonna take up a lot of room. That's why you picked me, because you and The Rock are just gonna. And you're thinking about the accommodation. Me and Kevin will be, we don't take up a lot of leg room.
Something like that. I'm gonna bring my dog, dude. That's gonna be the 5th.
Your dog?
Yeah, my dog.
Where's your dog? Where's your dog right now?
He in the house. He in here.
Can I see that? I want to. Obviously, where's the dog? Where are you keeping the dog from being on TV?
Nah, we are. He a little out there right now. He got to chill. He's
got to chill. He's a lot. Well, that sounds like a great plan to bring him up into space.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll see you in Green Bay. I will be there. I will be there next week cheering you on. If you hear like a squeaky voice yelling from the crowd, it is me. It is so nice to meet you. And I love that you're faith driven. I think you're an absolute monster. You're going to destroy people. And whichever coach takes you better put you on offense. That's what I want to see.
I got to. Like a special little trick play. We good for that.
Yeah, or like regularly. I would enjoy it. All right, Jihaad Campbell, we appreciate you. Shout out to everyone in your camp, your agents, everybody for making it happen. Go call Mike McDonald back. We'll be back after this.
Thank you. Appreciate it.